Hi there. We're at our range today, so please bear with the gunfire you may hear in the background. Also with wind, aircraft, animals, vehicles, and other nonsense happening also in the background. And please bear with any sort of nonsense you'll hear in the foreground. Today I'll be doing an evaluation of the accuracy and velocity of Winchester, Lake City, 55 grain, full metal jacket, boat tail, 5.56 caliber ammunition. This ammunition has been the standard ever since its adoption by the United States military in 1963, and is still commonly found ever since. While M193 has been fallen out of favor in military adoption in the United States with M855 ammunition in the 1980s and 1990s, as well as M855A1 in the mid-2010s, M193 is still commonly found to this day. It is one of the most common ammunition types for 5.56 caliber firearms. I find it to be inexpensive, reliable, and reasonably accurate for what it is. But why would I talk about it when I could just go and demonstrate about me shooting it? So let's go and begin. I have 4 different firearms over here with various different barrel lengths, and I'll go test them out with their velocity as well as their accuracy. So let's begin. Here are the firearms used for testing of our M193 ammunition. We have 4 different AR-15 platform firearms with various different configurations and barrel lengths. Over here, we have a 10.5-inch AR-15 pistol. This is not a rifle, and this is not a stock. However, it's a great representation of various AR-15 SBRs out there, as well as Mark 18 configuration firearms, which feature a free-floated handguard and a 10-inch barrel. Our sighting system used would be a electronic red dot reflex sight. This one is made by Holosun. Here we have a AR-15 that features a 14.7-inch barrel that is pin and welded to 16 inches. This rifle is in compliance with the NFA due to this pin and weld and overall barrel length of 16 inches. Our primary sighting system used for this would be our Aimpoint Reflex Red Dot sight, and this particular firearm over here is an excellent representation of the current issue firearm in use by the United States Army, the M4A1 carbine, and features more or less everything with the same specifications, except for the lower receiver being and the trigger pack being a semi-auto only one, as well as the barrel being a 14.7-inch barrel instead of a 14.5-inch barrel, a cold hammer forged barrel that is chrome lined instead of a button rifled barrel that is chrome lined, and it does not have the MO203 grenade launcher cut on it. Other than those details, it is a great representation of the M4A1 in use by the U.S. Army. Here we have a 16-inch carbine over here with a primary arms low-powered variable optic. Over here we have a pistol red dot reflex sight as a secondary aiming system, but we'll not focus on that. This over here uses a cold hammer forged Geisley 16-inch barrel with a chrome lining. This is a great representation of many modern AR-15s you find nowadays. And over here we have our A1 platform rifle over here. This is a 20-inch barrel, pencil barrel, with a chrome lining and a phosphated finish. And what's unique about this, it has a 1 in 12 twist rate. 55 grain ammunition stabilizes well with this particular twist rate. And this is the original rifle, or a very early version of the platform. And it's a great representation of early vintage rifles. We'll use that with our 20-inch test, and it features the basic iron sights on it. Here we have our box of M193 ammunition, and here is a cartridge. This has an annealed brass case and a copper-plated, non-magnetic lead bullet. Over here, if this camera can focus, we have a NATO head stamp, Lake City head stamp, and the year of production, which this cartridge is manufactured in the year 2023. Okay, I'm going to go shoot at the target to the left at 100 yards away with a 10-shot grouping with the ammunition. Here I'm going to go use the 10.5-inch AR-15 pistol. And I'll be measuring our chronograph velocities at the muzzle. 2787. $27.81. $27.87. Error. Another error. $27.84. $27.55. $27.35. $27.35. Error. All 10 cartridges fed through the 10.5-inch AR-15 pistol over here. Let's go switch to a 14.7-inch. Okay, we have our 14.7-inch and for carbine. Did not read. Did not read. Did not read. Did not read. Let's try resetting it. 3088. 3049. 3007. 3078. 3064. 'Okay, let's go shoot at our target on the left with the 16-inch rifle over here. $31.49. 31.39. 31.76. 30.71. I screwed up. That's a flyer. $31.35. 32.7. 31.64. 31.16. 31.87. 31.50. Rounds complete. Let's go to the 20-inch rifle. Okay, we have our 20-inch rifle over here. Let's go do a 10-shot group on our target on the right. 31.97. 32.39. 32.72. 32.46. 31.99. 32.34. 31.78. 32.76. 32.49. 32.38. Round complete. Let's go take a look. Here are the results of the chronograph test. And while that chronograph results may not always agree with each other and may vary based off of humidity, ambient temperature, and other factors, here are our results recorded at the muzzle. With Winchester Lake City M193 ammunition, with a 10.5 inch barrel, we have 2,789 feet per second. The 14.7 inch barrel, we have a 3,049 feet per second reading. Our 16 inch barrel, we have a 3,150 feet per second. And with our 20 inch barrel, we have our reading at 3,233 feet per second. Now, why is that important? Well, over at our smallest barrel length, our 10.5 inch over here, we have a velocity of 2,789. That is 260 feet per second, shorter than our 14.7 inch barrel. With ordinary ball ammunition like M193, having our velocity at 2,500 feet per second or less, the projectiles would not reliably fragment, and this can cause serious problem with having lethal and terminal effect on soft targets. Having a longer barrel length, such as 14.5 inches and above, will maintain higher velocity. Higher velocity means that a 5.56 cartridge, especially ball ammunition, will maintain lethality, and that with a higher velocity, the bullet will have less travel time to go downrange and be less affected by wind, which means that at further distances, a shorter barrel may not be able to hit a further range target. Let's go measure our accuracy. Here are the results of our shooting of our target with our 10.5 inch AR-15 with a red dot sight. We have it in MOA. What is MOA? MOA is a unit of measurement for determining the precision of the grouping of our firearm, in which at 100 yards, 1 MOA would equal 1.047 inches. However, that can be rounded down and simplified to 1 inch is at 100 yards. At various different distances, 1 MOA would still retain the same, but at 1 inch at 100 yards, 1 MOA could also mean a 1/2 inch at 50 yards, 2 inches at 200 yards, or 4 inches at 400 yards, or 10 inches at 1,000 yards, etc., etc., etc. When measured in metric, 1 MOA would equal, at 100 meters, 2.8 centimeters. Alternatively, it could be 1.4 centimeters at 50 meters or 0.7 centimeters at 25 meters. You get the point. However, with our 10.5 inch AR-15 over here, with our M193 ammunition, we're able to get a, yes, that's a flyer, that's me, that's annoying, but if we count that, we get a 3.52 MOA of accuracy. If we discount that flyer with our 90% grouping over 10-shot groups, we have a 2.26 MOA group. I'll post a picture of the groupings as well. With our 14.7 inch carbine over here, we have an accuracy of 2.8 MOA if you also include this flyer over here. Yes, that's annoying. Yes, that's me. But still, pretty good accuracy. However, if you discount that, we have an impressive 1.5 MOA group. That's pretty good for this particular rifle with just a more or less a military configuration and a red dot sight. So, quite impressive with M193 basic ball ammunition. Let's see what our other results have. Here we have our 16-inch barrel over here with our low-powered variable optic. And here is our grouping. Yes, I had a couple of flyers. Yes, that's me. Yes, that is annoying. But if we count the entire grouping, we're getting 3.5 MOA out of it, which is still pretty acceptable. And if it wasn't for me, or that the rifle itself, I freshly cleaned the barrel and it's not fouled yet, which can reduce accuracy for the first few shots, the grouping could be a bit tighter. At an 80% grouping, we have a 2.42 MOA grouping, but still pretty good. Here we have our 20-inch A1 pattern rifle over here with open sights. And as you can see, our precision and our groupings are not as high as our other firearms. A lot of that is attributed to me. I'm not Paul, and I am not as good at shooting iron sights as him. However, we still have a respectable 4.03 MOA group, which is acceptable. Now, for reference, keep in mind is that for the United States Army Marksmanship Unit, having an accuracy of 4 MOA with a standard issue M4 carbine is acceptable. Similarly, in the Marine Corps, for an M16A4 rifle, having an accuracy of 4.5 MOA is acceptable. Having 4 MOA with our A1 platform over here, I'll take it. Let's go move on to our next section of the show. Unfortunately, due to budget constraints, we do not have a meat target. Sorry, folks. So what did we learn here for today? Well, with 5.56, Winchester, Lake City, M193, 55 grain, full metal jacket, boat tail ammunition, we're able to achieve acceptable accuracy with all firearms we have tested today. Everything from our 10.5 inch all the way to our 20-inch AR-15 platform firearms. And with our own velocity testing, we have found that below 14.7 inches, we have a significant drop in velocity. Significantly more than the difference in velocity between our 16 and 20-inch rifles. So I find that Winchester, Lake City M193 to be commonly available, inexpensive, reliable, and quite great, even for short ranges as well as far ranges. And while not the best for all firearms, it works in all firearms, especially this Legacy A1 platform rifle over here with a 1/12 twist barrel. So, my own conclusion is that Winchester Lake City M193 is the right ammunition for me. However, is it the right ammunition for you? You be the judge. And thank you for watching the video on Winchester Lake City M193 5.56 ammunition testing from 10.5 inch, 14.7 inch, 16 inch, and 20 inch barrels. Thank you very much for watching. And have a happy April Fool's Day. Oh yeah, one big shout out. Thank you very much for sharing the channel for the Paul Harrell Without Context Instagram page. I greatly appreciate it, and it really means a lot for me. More and more ammunition testing videos will follow soon in the future. And as always, thank you very much for watching.